Good afternoon, folks, and welcome back to the Average Joe Sports Talk Show. I'm your host, Jay Real, bringing you a Friday edition to the show. Now, we're going to jump right in and get to last show. We had some comments come in, and we wanted to address those. That's why we created this show. That's why we're here, for you, the fan, the average Joe person, to get their words across and to be able to get involved with the show. So going right in, we are going to start with Obama Power 1. That's right, Obama Power 1 chimed in, and I quote, "He broke a rule. I live in College Station, and we knew about this in March. The university asked Johnny if he did it, and he said no. The investigation began in June. NCAA officials came here and asked if the rumors were true. And again, he said no. This is not a witch hunt. Ohio State, USC, Miami have been in trouble for players getting played." End quote. Now, Obama Power 1, thank you so much for chiming in and giving us your feedback on last Tuesday's show, which, of course, dealt with Johnny Manziel and the rumors and allegations of him taking money for signing autographs. Now, with that being said, we have to look at the comment here, and let's just break this down. Okay, yes, he did break a rule. The problem, folks, is it's not that Johnny Manziel took money for signing his own autograph. The problem is the NCAA rules themselves. How can you have a governing body ruling over people that are breaking their own rules? Okay, it says in one of the guidelines and in one of the rules in the NCAA rule book that every player must do whatever they can to keep an organization, company, any person from making money off of the players, off of their name or images. Now, how can that be true when you can go on the NCAA website and order autographs, order jerseys, order all kinds of things that are just totally making money off of these players? Now, don't get me wrong, because I know the comments will come back, well, they took them down. That doesn't make it right, folks. Just because they got busted doesn't mean it's okay just because they took them down. Excuse me, and that they're not able to sell the jerseys or not able to benefit and make money off these players. It's been a rule before, so they're breaking their own rules. So what is the NCAA going to do, guys? Folks, are they supposed to suspend themselves? Are they supposed to take away their season of the ruling body over college athletic sports? See, that's the problem right there. Obama Power 1. If you have a governing person that isn't even following their own rules, how can you go after somebody? And you're right. You're absolutely right. Ohio State, USC, Miami, these guys, these universities have all been in trouble. And USC has been slammed by the NCAA for violations. But how can they do it if they're not following their own rules? Yes, we could sit here and say they're hypocrites. Yes, we could say that they're dirty, rotten scoundrels. This is the problem until somebody stands up, and hopefully Johnny Manziel has the name, has the reputation, and has the ability with his fame and who he is to get this changed. So anyway, we just wanted to go back and touch on last week's show because we did have a really nice comment come in, and we wanted to break it down and give them their props and their opportunity to have their comments read and broke down. Now, Obama Power 1, if you don't agree with us on what we had to come back and say, hey, leave us another comment, leave us more feedback. We'll break it down more as the show. If you really want to get involved, don't hesitate to call in. Just leave us a comment that you'd be interested on being interviewed right here on the show. And we have no problem having our producer or our wingman, as I like to call him, getting in touch with you and getting that done. So anyway, that's our breakdown of Johnny Manziel again and the NCAA. So, moving forward, let's get into some baseball. Major League Baseball. It is unfathomable. It is unrealistic and unbelievable, the run that the Dodgers are on. Since June 22nd, they're on a 40-8 win streak. This is unbelievable. These guys have taken a team that was left for dead in June, a coach that you had published factual reports. We had sports writers and sports announcers, sports hosts, whatever you want to, sports writers coming out saying that Don Mattingly was going to be fired that day, that week, the next day, whatever you want to call it. These guys put their reputations on the line saying that Don Mattingly was going to be fired from the LA Dodgers. How irresponsible is that? How unprofessional is that? That you come out and say that some guy's going to lose his job that day, and instead, 2 months later, the guy should be getting Coach of the Year. The guy should be getting Coach of the Year. From turning a team that everybody had left for dead, he was getting fired, and now they are the #1 team. That's right, the #1 team that odds makers have going to the World Series and winning it. Winning the World Series at 9-2. They are the favorites right now by all the guys in Vegas to win the World Series. I am so happy for Don Mattingly and the Dodgers. You just can't say enough about them and their team. So good, kudos to them. Great job, Don Mattingly. Hope you continue being very successful there and hopefully winning the World Series. That'd be cool to see. Okay, now moving on, we're going to touch some UFC. This Saturday, we have a big event. Shogun Rua is going to go against Shell Shonen. That's right, this is going to be a big fight on Fox 1, a new sports channel. This is the first event UFC is putting on for Fox on this new channel, Fox 1. So, big fight, big show. We're going to break it down like this. Don't be surprised if Shogun Rua kicks the crap out of Shell Shonen. This guy just has a mean punch, he has a mean ground and pound, and he's very good on the defense on his back. Seems like Shell Shonen loves to put people down, ground and pound them, and they just kind of just lay there and take it. Maurice Shogun Rua is not going to do that. He will fight from his back. He will try to do some finishing moves from his back. So we're excited to see that. We'll touch back base on this with our UFC expert Shannon on Tuesday and see how the fights went. That's all we can do is wait and see and tune in like the rest of you all. Then finally we're going to wrap up this edition of Friday Show with some NFL. Tom Brady, after tweaking his knee the other day, is back in practice with a brace and he's looking good. He's throwing passes. Looks like he has the leverage. He's throwing off that leg, so everything should be fine for him there. So we can't say, happy for him and the New England Patriots. And then real quick, because of fantasy football is right around the corner, we're going to give you the average Joe top 3 quarterback picks for fantasy football. We're going to start out with number 1, Drew Brees. Threw over for 4,000 yards last season. He did throw a lot of interceptions, but they have their coach back, Peyton is back, and Coach Peyton is back, and we expect them to be totally rejuvenated, and I expect Drew Brees to throw for over 5,000 yards. That's right, 5,000 yards, and a dozen or more touchdowns to go along with that. So Drew Brees is our number 1 pick, and then we're going to go right back to Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, this guy, he just seems to be able to have 9 lives like a cat. He'll throw for over 4,000 to 5,000 yards. Again, a dozen or more touchdowns. The problem is his offensive line. He was the most sacked quarterback last season. Hard to believe that, but he was. And his line doesn't look too much better this year. So we'll just have to wait and see if they can do something to help him stay on his feet. But we cannot turn away from Aaron Rodgers being that second pick. Fantasy, and then third, of course, we're going to round off with Peyton Manning there in Denver. Denver's a scary team. He will throw for just touchdown after touchdown, 5,000 plus yards we project for him as well. And with all the weapons he has to throw to, Wes Welker alone just cutting right through the middle, catch and then run for another 30, 40 yards. That's what they're built the team for, and that's what we have to say about fantasy quarterbacks. On Tuesday, we'll come back and we'll give you our top 3 running backs and receivers for fantasy football. But for right now, we got to thank the Player Zone. That's our big sponsor, and Right On Time Errand and Delivery Service. Can do it without you. We appreciate their hospitality of giving us the house to come do the show for you all. And they have sports memorabilia, comic books, action figures, you name it, they got it. Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, all your gaming needs and supplies. The Player Zone. Look them up on riadosomidtown.com. Click on the merchant tab, you'll get right to the Player Zone, or they have their own Facebook, the Player Zone on Facebook, and we have our own Facebook right here on Average Joe Sports Talk Show Facebook page. Drop us comments, feedback, you name it. We'll be sure to get it on the show for you, the Average Joe fan. But for right now, J Real's going to sign off on this Friday's show. Have a great weekend. Peace and much love, and we will see you on Tuesday's show. Don't miss it. J Real. J Real.